Well, Matt, for what started at 9:30 with the girls' 5th and 6th place game, it's now ending with the boys' championship here at the 2020 Lutheran Sports Association of Illinois State Championship Sunday. This is what we've all been waiting for.
This is a long day. As you said, we started this at 9:30 this morning with 5th place girls, but we just crowned a girls champion, and now in less than an hour, given no overtime like the 3rd place boys game, we will be crowning a boys champion as well.
Well, it sounds like you just jinxed us again, and we're going to go to overtime in this championship game. But let's talk about the two teams we'll be watching this evening. The away team on the scoreboard, the Immanuel Palatine Bobcats, and the home team and 1 seed Comets of Christ Peoria. We have gone chalk into the championship, 1 versus 2, heavyweight fight. These teams have seen a lot of each other over the last decade and a half.
Oh, at least.
But
yes.
but haven't met in the championship since
2013. So we talk every year a lot where Rockford and Palatine and Peoria, the 3 boys teams, they seem to kind of take their turns winning the championship and whatever. But yeah, Peoria and Palatine have not played each other in the championship game for since 2013. So it's been a while.
Good evening. On behalf of the Lutheran
Sports
Association of Illinois, I would like to welcome you to St. Peter Lutheran School in Arlington Heights and to this, the boys' state championship game for Illinois. We would also like to welcome our guests from around the world watching us on the internet at www.Luthsports.org. Before we meet the teams, we do want to say thank you, as we've been doing all weekend long, to all of our host sites, to St. Peter, Arlington Heights, Trinity Roselle, St. John Lombard, Immanuel, Crystal Lake, and all the volunteers who worked so hard to make this tournament a success. Let's go ahead and give all those volunteers and host sites a hand. Thank you. Before we begin, we ask that all participants and spectators conduct themselves in a God-pleasing manner before, during, and after this basketball game. The LSA Sportsmanship Award will be presented this weekend to the school whose behaviors of its players, coaches, and fans best demonstrate Christian sportsmanship. Before we meet the teams, let's join and open this game in a word of prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for guiding us safely to this point in the weekend. Be with us here today during this championship game. Please be with the players and give them the strength to do their best. Also be with the coaches, referees, officials, and fans during the course of this game. Help us all to display integrity and the highest level of Christian sportsmanship. In your name we play, amen. Now, this game features the guest team on the scoreboard, the Bobcats from Immanuel Lutheran in Palatine. And the home team on the scoreboard, the Comets from Christ Lutheran in Peoria. First, we will meet the Bobcats. Immanuel comes to us today with a record of 24 wins and 5 losses. They're the champions of the Friesti Catholic Academy Tournament, the Prince of Peace Tournament, the St. Thomas Villanueva Palatine Tournament. To get to this point, they defeated teams from Our Savior's Springfield, St. John Lombard, and Chicago St. John. First, let's meet the non-starters. Number 2, William Tanner. Number 3, Rory Gann. Number 5, Ian Sherman. Number 20, Jack Reichert. Number 21, John Walter. Number 23, Austin Immanuel. Number 24, Jacob Kim. Number 32, John Romanuk. Number 44, Brendan Gallardo. And number 51, Ben Forsyth. And now the starters for the Bobcats. A 5'7", 7th grader, guard number 10, Josiah Calvin. And a forward, 8th grader, 6'2", number 11, Logan Grosick. And another forward, 8th grader, 5 feet 11 inches tall, number 12, Nate Vandergiesen. And a guard, 8th grader, 5 feet 7, number 33, Joey Hernandez. And finally, forward, 6 feet even, 8th grader, number 54, Isaac Shin. The Comets are coached by John Ulrich, assisted by Matthew Ulrich and Johnny Ulrich. Manager, James Cock, Zach Roach, statistician, David Cox. And now our home team, the Comets from Christ, Peoria. They come to us with a record of 31 wins and 2 losses. They're the champions of the Green Park Tournament and the Christ Lutheran School 70th Annual Basketball Tournament. To get to this point, they defeated teams from Trinity Edwardsville, St. John's Redbud, and St. Peter Arlington Heights. First, for the Comets, let's meet the non-starters. Number 3, Jarrell Traps. Number 5, Will Harris. Number 10, Naz Jackson. Number 12, Kendall Jackson. Number 13, Justice Rush. Number 15, Kyler Beavers. Number 20, DeMarcus Hughes. Number 22, Marlon Heron. And number 24, Keon Walker. And number 44, James Smallwood. And now the starters for the Comets. A guard, 5'7", 8th grader, number 1, Nick Louderman. Another guard, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 8th grader, number 11, Daquan Little. And another guard, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 8th grader, number 21, Joe Lamberti. Forward, 8th grader, 5 feet 10 inches tall, Taurus Bow, number 23. And at center, 6'7", 8th grader, number 35, Lathan Somerville. The Comets are coached by Terry Mooney Jr., assisted by Terry Mooney Sr., Dario Lamberti, manager Brandon Woods. Let's have a great game.
For both teams and learn how both teams got to this point. Matt, Palatine doesn't give up a whole lot of points.
No, they do not.
Peoria scores a whole lot of points.
So
Is it one of those unstoppable forces and an immovable object kind of thing? Tell me how.
I think it may, because we got Peoria's averaging 66 points a game. Palatine is giving up 18 a game.
So what you're telling me is something has to give in today's game.
66 to 18. That's a big gap.
That's a huge gap.
Something's got to give.
And we've got the tip between Shin and Somerville, about a 7-inch difference in the tip. You heard Somerville at 6'7".
How many times have we done games, Sam, where we've had players taller than you? You're 6'3", aren't you?
Today, quite a few.
Yeah.
So here are the Comets going to work on their first offensive possession, and we're going to have a travel as Taurus Bow lost his dribble, picked it up. It took a couple too many steps. Turnover to the Bobcats.
So it's looking like we're going to get both teams with full court man pressure, man defense from both.
Josiah Calvin in charge, bringing the ball up the floor, right hand, just in front of the stands here to our right. Now swung back up top to Logan Grosset. Holding is Nate Vandergiesen. Calvin with it again. Crossing over a few times, step back. Now to the far side wing to Grosick. Grosick into the lane to Hernandez. Hernandez up and good. So the Bobcats get on the board first in this championship game.
I think with the Peoria firepower, Palatine has to slow it down. It took them a minute to score that first basket, but they do have the lead.
And here's a drive, one-handed runner for Daquan Little, and we're knotted at 2. So you see the Bobcats don't look like they have a tough time scoring, but that defense is pretty incredible, and we've got a turnover on the inbound. It'll be Comet ball underneath the basket.
They looked a little confused with the inbounds play. One kid was out, and then it's like, no, we got to switch plays or something. So something happened there where they were a little confused on the inbounds play.
Inbounding for the Comets is Bow.
Now, Palatine's averaging 36 points. That's quite a bit of points, but they give up only 18.
Here's a step back 3 by Bow. He missed. Rebound tapped around, and we've got a jump ball. Possession arrow to the Bobcats.
We'll see if Palatine's figured out their press break now.
The Bobcats looking to move the ball quickly against that backcourt pressure. Calvin still with the ball in his hand, guarded closely by Little. Bobcats probably going to look to run a bunch of time off this clock, cut down on some of that Peoria scoring.
They're going to have a hard time scoring inside when you got a kid 6'7" sitting in the middle. But neither team really shoots a lot of three-pointers too, so we'll see how things go.
Vandergiesen killed his dribble, got it over to Hernandez, who went to the basket and was hit on his way to the hoop, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Kind of a hard foul. Nothing intentional. It looked like going for the block, just caught him with the forearm wrong.
He was going for the block. The offensive guy went kind of ducking under and got hit in the top of the head.
The referee's checking to make sure Hernandez is fit to shoot these free throws. That foul was on Taurus Bow. His first, team first, and Hernandez's first free throw is short. Comes away blinking a little bit. You wonder if that's due to the foul that took that forearm across the face.
He got hit pretty good. Like you said, it wasn't intentional, of course. He was 9 of 10. So maybe that hit did something to his free throws.
Second from Hernandez is up and good. That one looked a little better. Looked like he got his faculties back a little bit and was able to knock that second free throw down.
After shooting 90%, you figured he's going to make that next one.
Lamberti crossing the timeline with his left hand. Finds Little. Little looking to drive in the middle of the lane. A couple of side steps, had the ball knocked away. Gets his own rebound. Tried to get it to Somerville. Somerville found Louderman. And Louderman's going to go to the line for 2. Palatine looking for a travel. I'm not sure it wasn't travel because the ball was knocked out of his hands on his way to the basket.
He kind of attacked, but yeah, I think he maybe got it loosened from his grip.
Louderman's first free throw is in and out, no good. So the best he can do is tie it here at 3 with 3:38 to play in the opening quarter of this 2020 Lutheran Sports Association of Illinois Boys Basketball Championship game. Second free throw is up and good.
That was only his 4th free throw attempt. That was his first make, though. So that's good. He's got himself a free throw on that one.
Whole lot of pressure on the backcourt from Peoria. Get it ahead to Hernandez, who's going to look to work on Somerville. And he dragged that back foot. With a guy like Somerville in the middle, you get to the basket, and what do?
You need to pull it out and start your offense, I think. Because, I mean, he was coming so fast, there was no way to not travel, to be honest, I think.
Lamberti working on Vandergiesen. Now Louderman gets it inside to Somerville. Somerville turns up off the glass and good. Shin's going to have a tough time stopping that.
That's going to be hard. That was a nice turnaround. He used the glass really nicely. That's going to be hard to stop.
5-3, Comets now with the lead. 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Vandergiesen Looking for Calvin, finds Josiah Calvin. Calvin crossing over on Little to the basket, up off the glass, and good. It looks like they're going to try to attack whatever side Somerville is not on.
Well, that worked that time because a couple other Peoria guys got in Somerville's way. He couldn't come in to block.
Louderman with the jab step baseline, and he was fouled by Hernandez, who tried to reach in from behind. So that's going to be Hernandez's second foul, and it looks like they're going to replace him here. They will, with number 21, John Walther. Little to inbound, out to Lamberti. Lamberti still working on Vandergiesen. There's the handoff to Little. Little pull-up jump shot from 3. That one is long. Rebound pulled down by Somerville. Up, no good. Gets his own rebound, back up off the glass and good. Shin's got to put a body on him.
Yeah, because, a lot of fans always yell over the back. That's really not a foul. He has to push, and he's so tall, he's never going to push. He's just going to jump over everybody. So if you kind of go under him a little bit and create that contact, then you can get a foul.
Calvin went to make a move to his left, and that was Daquan Little. He had a little trouble moving his feet, threw an arm out, and he picks up a foul. It's going to be his first, team second.
Yeah, unless you want Somerville to get every rebound, you got to back into him and create that contact so he will push you then.
Shin to inbound. Looking. Throws a deep pass out to Vandergiesen on the opposite side of half court. Vandergiesen crosses, guarded closely by Louderman. Now to Calvin. Calvin met by Lamberti. Lamberti staying in front. Ball to the wing to Grosick. Now back up top to Vandergiesen. Walther on the wing, spins baseline. And the pass was knocked away by Somerville, and he'll look to push. Somerville on the way to the basket, up and good, but there was a charge. You gotta wonder if the size led to that call.
It's gonna be close all game to see how that works. He was there, and Somerville actually, he's got to know that's going to come all game too, that they're going to try to jump in front of him. He's got to maybe stop and put back in or whatever, but that's a good play.
Somerville's going to go to the bench with his first. It looks like we've got a stoppage. Looks like the referees are asking for not quite sure what's going on right now. It looks like they're asking for maybe another foul.
Well, yeah, the Palatine coach is assuming that Smallwood had one already. I don't think he ever did.
He didn't. Somerville did not have a foul prior to that charge. Yeah, that's exactly what he's arguing. So Coach Ulrich is begging and pleading with the officials, trying to say that Somerville has a second foul. That's only his first. He's not leaving the referees alone. And that, in fact, is his first.
Correct.
We've been here. That's the first time he's had a foul called on him.
We've been watching this game. The scores table's been doing a great job.
Mm-hmm. And so Peoria will back off the press. They've gone, I guess you could say, small, even with Taurus Bow at 5'10", being the biggest guy on the floor, but he's as tall as the tallest Palatine player now.
Correct, yeah. They go small, that's still big for everybody else.
Exactly. So Hernandez finds it in the post. He turns and he traveled. Second time he's dragged that back foot, trying to make a pass. And it'll be Peoria ball with 1:02 to play in the first quarter. The Comets holding on to a 2-point lead.
When you get that hard man, you get a little jittery and you drag that foot. Especially when you're under the hoop too, where you panic a little bit.
So here's Naz Jackson. He recently checked in. He's going to go to the basket with the right hand. High flying and good. That one just hung on the front. It looked like it wanted to come out, but it eventually fell in.
Shooter's touch. That was a nice soft layup.
And talk about Naz Jackson with the athleticism to the basket too. Just quick, left the floor real fast. Was able to lay it in. Calvin looking across. Hands it off to Walther. Back to Calvin for three. That one's long. Rebound Hernandez. Right hand up. He made a nice turn to the middle. Missed, but he'll go to the line for two with 28.2 seconds to play here in the opening quarter.
With Palatine, I mean, there's only 28 seconds left, but right now, Somerville and Smallwood hasn't even played yet. The two kids over 6'4", this is the time to attack the lane.
And this free throw is up and no good. So after you mentioned him coming into the game 9 for 10, has now missed 2.
He is 1 for 3 now, yes. Still kind of shaking a little bit. Maybe he did get hit harder than we thought.
Second free throw from Hernandez is short as well. And it's still 9-5, 24 seconds to play in this opening quarter. Here's Jackson working on Vanderkiesen. Ulrich asking for that 5-second call.
He backed away, though.
Into the lane, and we're going to have a block. So it looks like Naz went to the defender's right and just went off his shoulder and was able to pick up the foul.
He slid over a little bit too much. Looked like Coach Mooney wanted that one shot for the quarter. Kind of took it to the hole with 10 seconds left, so Palatine will get the ball back.
Jackson's first free throw is up and good. And you invoke the name of Smallwood, and now he'll enter the game, replacing Taurus Bow.
Jackson was 50% coming in from the line, and he made his first.
Second one's up and good. So 2 good-looking free throws from Jackson.
So Peoria brought in their 6'4" kid. Palatine brought in number 3. Is he even 5 feet tall?
That's Rory Gann. Or Gann, my apologies. There's 5 on the clock. 3, and there's a steal from Peoria to the basket. Up and no good. That was the newly checked in Jarrell Traps, who had an opportunity to take the lead to 8. But after that missed layup, the Comets are up 6.
You know, we talked about the, pace of play and the scoring a lot and not giving up points or whatever. Honestly, I mean, this is going into Palatine's hand. And if you're going to average 60-some points a game, you're not going to do it scoring 11 a quarter. So Palatine's doing that. You're going to have to slow them up somehow. But Palatine does need to score because Peoria will probably still score 40-some points. So they got to score. They're only averaging 30-some. But, great defense on both ends. We had a great first quarter.
We did, and we talked about it in the first 2 games that we did earlier today, the 5th place game, then the 3rd place game. That first quarter can be a little awkward. It's a big stage. There's a lot of fans. Gym's loud. Sometimes it takes you a quarter, 2 quarters, and maybe come out in the 3rd quarter finally playing the game that you intended to play when you started.
We saw a lot of teams play really well in the 3rd. I mean, we call it the championship jitters or whatever. We joked this morning about the time change. I mean, it's 5:30 now, but it's still the championship game. And we've talked for many years too. This atmosphere you don't see often, and so you get excited and the adrenaline's pumping, and you throw a shot a little harder. These guys will calm down, and we're going to have an excellent 3 more quarters.
So here's Traps. Swung around to Bow. And his shot was no good, but it'll go to line for 2.
He came into the game tonight shooting 71%, 5 of 7. We'll see how he does here.
Bow's first free throw is up and no good.
That's what he wants to do, though. He wants to attack the lane. He wants to get to the free throw line. He'll hit this one.
Hey, up and good. You called it. Looked like he made a nice adjustment after missing the first.
When you shoot 71%, you're not usually going to miss both. And being a good free throw shooter, you do make those adjustments.
Hernandez trying to get the ball across half court, does, but was almost trapped in the middle of the floor by 2 Comet players.
He got real close to pivoting backwards, yeah.
Comet players not letting anybody catch at the moment. Calvin was lucky enough to get up top and grab the ball. Nice ball handling from Calvin, working on Jackson. Killing his dribble up top is Rosic. Hernandez was looking for Grosses. Luckily, Calvin stepped up and caught that pass.
Yeah, they were doing a cut, and he threw it to him.
Calvin into the lane, and we're going to have a foul on the floor as Naz Jackson got into Calvin with a little bit too much of the body. Calvin, good ball handler and fairly quick.
Yeah, he is, and playing against a pressure defense, you need to have a very good ball handler, and he's showing he can handle it today.
Shin to inbound. Calvin picked up a screen from Vandergiesen. Vandergiesen takes the inbounds pass, kills his dribble high above the three-point line, and the pass to Shin is errant and out of bounds. That'd have been a tough catch even if he got a hand on it.
You get off balance when you're playing that pressure defense, and sometimes you just throw a bad pass or kind of stumble to try to catch it even too.
Traps will get things started for the Comets. There's a crossover at the top of the key, pulls up from 14, short, rebound up and good. Lathan Somerville checks back in and makes his presence known immediately here in the second quarter with an and one.
It's hard not to foul that, but you're not going to stop that shot. So big, so tall, he got it right under the hoop.
And good hands too. We talk about, kids grow a little fast. Sometimes that coordination doesn't come with. Somerville's extremely coordinated underneath there.
Oh yeah, he's making great post moves. Soft hands too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of times when you get fouled on that shot, you're not going to make it either. So very nice soft shot, and looking for the N1.
So the Comets have opened up a 9-point lead with Somerville headed to the free throw line. Try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. Does this one have the makings of where it could get out of hand quickly?
You got to be careful. We talked about Peoria wants to score 66 points, and Palatine's only averaging 36. So Palatine, continue to slow it up, play good defense, move the ball around. I mean, every possession for Palatine, though, is very important. Waste some time, get a good look. I mean, unfortunately, it's going to be hard to get a good look when you got Somerville standing in the middle. So.
I mean, at that point, you have to go to your outside shooting, and we really haven't seen a whole lot of that from Palatine yet today.
No, we haven't. And for the weekend, they really haven't shot a lot of three-pointers.
Just 3 3-pointers as Somerville completes the three-point play for the Bobcats this weekend.
They're known for their defense too. They get a lot of their points off of transition.
The Bobcats working against that tough Peoria pressure. Shin will look to drive up over the top of Somerville. Off the backboard, no good. Rebound corralled by Little. And Little look to push. Down to the corner, here's a pump fake from Traps. Traps downside into Somerville, good. So back-to-back potential three-point plays for Somerville.
He had such a nice position on that block. They weren't going to stop them, and they did come over late, and that's what happened with the foul.
So checking back in for the Bobcats is Rory Gahn. Somerville. 3 dribbles, spin into the left hand, a deep breath, and the free throw is up and in and out, no good. Bobcats will look to push. Calvin was bumped on his way to the basket, and that's going to be a foul on Jarrell Traps.
With this physical defense, I mean, these teams got to be careful. If both teams have 6 fouls. We still got 4 minutes left in the second quarter. That may help Palatine too get some free points on the free throw line.
Especially with that pressure defense. You can see the Comets maybe making a little too much contact as Somerville knocks the inbounds pass away that Shin was trying to find Vandergiesen. You can see maybe that pressure defense becoming an issue now that the Bobcats are in the bonus.
Right. You may want to pull off of it.
So here's an errant inbound pass. This one's stolen by Jackson. Jackson up off the glass and good. Looked like there was a little miscommunication between the inbounder and the guy at the top of the key, and we're going to have a foul on, I believe that was Daquan Little.
You just talked about it. They fouled on the press, and now now Palatine shooting 1-1. Let them get the ball in bounds, then play your tough defense. But giving them possible free points, they got to play better on that press.
So 19
you got a 14-point lead. You don't need to press that hard.
Matt, as you just alluded to, 19-5. Comets ahead of the Bobcats. Rory gone at the line to shoot a 1-1. First one is up and good. 4:08 to play in the second quarter.
That was his second free throw of the weekend. He is now 2 for 2, still 100%.
Gahn's second free throw is good. Really good free throw shooting so far in this game.
We've seen that all weekend, too. These are great players.
So Lamberti checks back in. He'll go to his left, hand it off to Traps. Tracks back to Lamberti in the corner. Now into Somerville. Somerville turns to the middle. Spinning, good.
7th and 8th grade basketball, you can't stop that, I don't think.
That spin to the middle, and he gets it up so high that there's nobody on Palatine that's going to even make
a foot on most of these
correct.
Guys that are trying to guard him. Just keep the ball above your head, and you're going to make every basket.
So should have bring the ball up and stop his dribble about 5 feet from half court. Now here's Hernandez over to Vander Giesen. Bobcats looking to set something up to get a basket. Here's a drive from Vander Giesen, left-handed, over the rim, no good. And last touch by the Comets. It'll stay Bobcat ball.
Just his presence. I mean, the Palatine kid threw that little running layup a little hard because in the corner of his eye, all of a sudden he's seeing Somerville again. So great defense.
So Shin had this one knocked away after he threw the last one away. And here comes Bao to the basket, up and good. So the Comets have now opened up a 16-point lead on the Bobcats. Halfway through the first half, as Calvin will take it in on Somerville. Drew the contact, had it blocked, but it'll go to the line for 2, and Somerville picks up his second. Nice job by Calvin getting in there, drawing that contact, picking up a foul, and that, because that's, he gets in foul trouble, and, you do replace him with someone who's 6'4".
Right.
But at the same time, he's now got 2 fouls.
Right, so that was a great job offensively. He did create that foul. He kind of leaned into him. Somerville had his hands up.
And Kelvin misses the front end of the 1-1. And the Comets will bring it up top with Jackson starting to show after he thought about a 3 from the near side corners. A crossover on Shin. Now over to Louderman. His 3 is down the well. Louderman from deep. 26-7, 19-point lead for the Comets.
Peoria will shoot some. They've made 10 for the weekend, so that's about 3 a game. So they'll shoot some.
Jackson guarded by Lamberti. There's a crossover on Lamberti into the lane. That one was nearly blocked by Smallwood. Enough to change the shot, and the pass up ahead a little too hot for Taurus Bao.
I know this is your MO as your team or whatever, but you got a 19-point lead. You probably don't need to push it up and throw it out of bounds.
So Shin nearly threw that inbounds pass away. It looks like the Bobcats are having a tough time inbounding the ball here in the second quarter. And here come the Comets looking to push again, up 19. Inside to Smallwood, up and good. That's just good. That's just a good drive and dish.
What an amazing pass. Yeah, that was great. Great job. Great vision.
So here's where you not scoring a lot and relying on your defense is an issue. You're now down 21 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. How do you climb out of this hole?
You're going to have to be patient. I mean, they've been getting some good looks. They're just, they started off hot. They made their first couple baskets. Haven't made any since, though. But as we said, too, when they're not a three-point shooting team and they have to attack the basket, it's kind of hard to attack the basket when you have 2 kids, 6'4", 6'7", standing in the lane.
So speaking of great athletes, Matt, State 2020 track and field will be May 16th and 17th at my alma mater, Concordia University, Chicago. Check the LSA website, www.LuthsportsTV.org, for qualifying times and distances. Matt, I know you worked that event, that weekend as well.
I do that work that weekend. I love all the LSA events that they do: volleyball, cross country, basketball, track. I do basketball and track. And yeah, we're looking forward to a great weekend in May for the track championships.
Joey Hernandez dribbling now over to Calvin. Calvin over to Walther. Walther now returns the pass to Calvin. Calvin working on Lamberti. In and out dribble between the legs. Now kick to the corner. Here's a 3-ball. That one is going to be short, out of the hand of Vandergiesen. And you have to expect the Bobcats are probably getting a little frustrated at this point.
Well, right. I mean, that was a great look. Shot didn't fall. I mean, that happens. It's basketball. But they're down so much, you got to make those shots, and it gets frustrating. I mean, these are, 13, 14-year-old boys, too. So, and then now, too, you want to slow up Peoria's fast break, but you can't foul them because now they're going to be shooting the bonus for the next minute and a half, too.
So Josiah Calvin picked up his first, and he sends Bow to the line for 1-1. He connects on the front end, and now the bonus. Minute 33 to play, 29-7. Comets leading the Bobcats. Second free throw is up and good. So here comes Calvin and the Bobcats looking to chip away, just even slowly, to this 23-point lead as they have an entire half try to make up the deficit. Not going to be an easy task, though.
Every possession, every basket's important now.
Shin at his elbow inside to Vandergiesen, and Vandergiesen's fouled by Smallwood. Nice move from Vandergiesen there, kind of using his body to shield that block from Smallwood.
No, we talked about maybe not going in the lane. Maybe they should and start getting these guys into foul trouble and going to the line and getting some points. That was a nice move.
But even if you get Smallwood, you get Somerville in foul trouble, the rest of this Comet team is extremely fast and very good defenders.
Right. They're going to have a hard time. And this team averaged 66 points a game. No individual player is averaging over 10 points. So everybody on this team can score.
Absolutely.
But rebounding is going to be a little easier if you take 2 6-footers out of the way.
So Lamberti will look to drive his floaters up and no good. Rebound Smallwood, and we're going to have a foul. As they said, Smallwood pushed Shin. Shin had okay positioning on that one, but again, he's got to push back a little bit more.
Right.
Not easy,
but
still.
That's what we talked about.
Right.
Though. You have to create that contact. We talked about, not an over a back foul, but he created that contact, and it was a push.
And I believe the Bobcats should be shooting a 1-and-1. And that's what they're going to do here. As Shin will go to the line. So that is the 8th foul on the Comets. Smallwood's second. For there being 17-plus fouls in this quarter already, it hasn't seemed like it. I don't know. I guess it's been good plays. It's been good drives to the basket.
The flow of the game has still been good. It's not a football game and the pushing and the shoving or whatever. I mean, they're hard. They're playing very hard defense, and the refs are calling the fouls here and there. So
my apologies. That was the 10th foul on the Comets. I read the scoreboard incorrectly. That is my fault. So Shin was at the line shooting 2. Made his first, missed the second. And with under a minute, looks like the Comets are going to look to burn some clock. Little 3-man weave at the top of the key. Here's Jackson, Lamberti to his left, and Traps to his right. Lamberti will bring it to the top of the key and hand off to Traps. Traps looking to work on Hernandez, had it knocked away momentarily. Now with the left hand, kills the dribble over to Lamberti. Lamberti will hand it off to Jackson. Jackson on Hernandez with 30 seconds on the clock. Dribbles over to Lamberti, makes the handoff. Lamberti is momentarily double teamed, had the ball taken away. And he grabbed the foot of Vandergiesen to prevent the fast break, but Vandergiesen will go to the line to shoot 2 as they're in the Bobcats in the double bonus.
Once in a while you say there's good fouls. I mean, you didn't want him going all the way for an easy layup. And he was kind of on the ground anyways. It wasn't really like, he was trying to. They were both kind of on the ground, and that's a foul.
Vandergiesen's first free throw is up and good. And checking in for the first time today for the Comets, number 12, Kendall Jackson. He'll replace Lamberti. (30-9), 23.6 seconds to play the first half of this championship game. Vandergiesen's second free throw is perfect. And he cuts the lead to 20. The Comets will slow it up the floor as Jarrell traps, handles it and fakes the handoff. Now over to Louderman. Louderman back up top to Jackson. Jackson will drive with that left hand. Nice dump off pass to the newly checked in Kendall Johnson, and he's got his first 2 of the night. Calvin will drive at the buzzer from 3. No. So that's how we'll go to halftime. The Peoria Christ Comets 32. The Immanuel Palatine Bobcats 10. Matt now will be back in just a few moments. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to championship basketball here at St. Peter Arlington Heights. We have the championship game between the Immanuel Bobcats from Palatine and the Comets from Christ Peoria. Matt, that first quarter looked like we might have a little bit of a slugfest, but then in the second quarter, the Comets just opened up.
Well, we talked even during the first half where there a couple of things kind of came into play. Palatine kind of stopped making baskets, and Peoria, they continued their fast breaks and their great passes, and it just kind of snowballed into the 22-point lead. Like you said, at the end of the first quarter, it was close, and that Peoria is just so fast, and we'll see what Coach Ulrich has ready for his players in the second half.
So if you're, put yourself in the shoes of Coach Ulrich going into the second half. You're down 22. The Comets have all kinds of size, speed. How do you combat that?
Well, you find a way maybe to slow them down. You know, they started out the game where they used a minute of the clock to start the game and then made their basket. Yeah, if you slow down, you're not going to catch up with the 22-point lead, but you're going to possibly limit Peoria from scoring as well. What they did in the end of the second quarter, too, attacking the basket. You know, it sounds kind of dumb with, you know, a 6'7", a 6'4" kid in the middle, but you create the fouls, some free throws, all those type of things. You gotta find a way to get some baskets.
So we're just about to start this second half, 32-10. Comets on top of the Bobcats. Just so you know, folks, if you've enjoyed what you've seen and heard from Matt and I, and on the girls' side of things, the games you are watching, the game you are watching, will be put on our YouTube channel, LuthsportsTV, after the national tournament on March 29th. Matt, I think I asked you once why it goes on after the national tournament. That's for scouting purposes.
That
right?
is for scouting purposes. There are some smart coaches out around the country, and we do not want to give the other coaches from California, Texas, or whatever an opportunity to scout our teams when we can't scout theirs before the national tournament.
And the Bobcats will start with the ball second half, and here's a quick turnover and a layup up and good for Daquan Little, and it's 33-10. 34-10, my apologies.
That's the one thing they can't do, too. They can't have turnovers.
So the Comets come out in that tough man-to-man defense. Bobcats looking to chip away, starting with their first possession of the second half. Vandergiesen's going to hold up top. Calvin with a nice back cut. I think Vandergiesen missed him with his back turn there. Now down underneath to Vandergiesen. Tried to get it up over the top of Somerville and could not. Here's a nice pass up ahead. Easy layup up and good for Daquan Little. So Little's got both buckets here for the Comets in the second half. Calvin looked to push. Now met by Little. He'll hand it off.
We talked about the slower play, try to get a good shot. They did attack, they just didn't quite get the foul called on the last possession.
Vander Giesen dribbling quite a bit at the top of the key, and we're going to have a timeout called by the Bobcats. Coach Ulrich does not look happy.
No, I mean, with the slow play, though, you got to be able to run precision cuts. And I'm assuming Coach Ulrich is a little upset where it's like, guys, we still need to score. I mean, they're moving the ball well, but I don't think they're doing the cuts that the coach wants.
So with 4:45 to play in the third quarter, Peoria is up 36-10 over Palatine. Palatine takes a quick timeout, about 1:15 into this second half. What are you going over in the huddle? Are you talking about more crisp cuts? Are you talking about speeding up a little bit on offense? Because you do have a 26-point deficit to make up in the next 10 minutes and 45 seconds.
He called timeout for a purpose. He called time and he started yelling at the kids. So there's something, and I'm assuming it's probably the cuts. The passing was fine, but when you do those passes around the perimeter, you have to have the precision cuts. So that's what I'm assuming.
Well, for those of you watching on your smartphone or near your smartphone, don't forget to follow the LSA on social media. Like us on Facebook. That's going to be Lutheran Sports Association of Illinois. If you're a Twitter kind of person, our handle is @LuthSports. That's LUTH Sports. And don't forget to visit our website, www.luthsports.org. But if you're watching us, you're probably on that website already. And don't forget our YouTube channel where these games will be posted. That's going to be LuthsportsTV on YouTube, as Hernandez has a nice drive on the left side, puts it up with the right hand.
Timeout worked. That was a nice precision cut, backdoor cut for a basket.
And here's the ball inside to Somerville, up and good. I believe all but one time that he's caught the ball underneath there, he's gotten the foul and made the bucket.
Yeah, this is at least his third now, I think. Three-point play attempt for this one.
Somerville, his free throw is long, and the rebound is chased down by the Comets. That save from Ball was a little too hard, and here's Hernandez on the other hand with the left hand. Louderman with some nice dribbling, getting through a double team. Got it up ahead to Little.
Open layups on a turnover is really going to help Palatine, too, to get some buckets.
And we're going to have a foul on the floor. Calvin Jackson got into the body a little bit too much of DeQuan Little.
You mentioned the website before. In a couple of days, they'll get all the stats. So you'll see all the scores and free throw percentages for these players and teams. I always like going to see the tournament results and stats. Those will be up on the website in about a week.
So that inbounds pass thrown high up top to Somerville, missed the initial tip in, got his own rebound and made the layup.
He's done that a couple times too. He's so tall, he's going to just get his own rebound.
And they've opened up a 26-point lead over the Bobcats, 40-14, 3.5 to play in the third quarter. And they're kind of just daring the Bobcats to shoot a three, and they're not really taking the bait. And as I say that, Calvin drains one from about 7 feet behind the arc.
The Palatine fans want you to talk about their three-pointers more often, I think. That was an excellent shot. They needed that one.
Now Little will look to answer on the other end. He drives in the middle. Nice fake. Missed his layup. Louderman with the rebound. Put back, no good. And Somerville will finish things up. You've got to put a body on him as soon as that shot goes up.
Vander Giesen honestly tried, but he's still so big.
Here's Shin. He'll get it to Vander Giesen. Swung around to Hernandez. Hernandez has had a nice half pump fake. Turn around back inside to Vander Giesen. That one's going to be blocked by Somerville. And Hernandez did a nice job of saving the ball off. I believe that was off of Lamberti.
That was great.
Out of bounds to the Bobcats.
That was
great
a great
hustle
play.
So Vander Giesen will get a blow as he is replaced by Logan Grosich. And here's the inbounds pass. That one was stolen up ahead to Little. Little, good. I feel like with the amount of points that Little has scored, most of them have been just wide open layups.
Well, I mean, when they're getting those rebounds and he's just throwing them, and running after them. So a lot of transition points for the Comets.
So a few new Comets coming onto the floor to get their first action in the second half. And here is Jarrell Traps working on Grosick. Little with a head fake, gets inside to the free throw line, now kicks out to Traps. Traps looking in the post, jab step baseline, gets it down to Smallwood. Smallwood lost a handle on it, and ball fought for, and we're gonna have a push on Daquan Little as he and Shin went to the floor together. But I think Little tried to come through the back of Shin to grab the ball, and he's gonna pick up the foul.
Well, and then on that post play too, you and I have talked about this before. Being that big, you should never dribble the ball and get it down low to the little guys. Keep that ball above your head, make your post move, and get the shot. You bring that ball down, especially against a team that you're a foot taller than, you're bringing it down to their level. Always keep that ball up high.
So here's Walther over to Calvin. 44-17, a minute 47 to play in this first the third quarter. And as we just talked about, the Bobcats not shooting a whole lot of threes. Hernandez knocks down the team's second three of the contest. Here's a jump stop in the lane, up and good. Nice move by Naz Jackson.
Palatine wanted to travel, but that's that Euro step, right, Sam? So
that's that nice jump stop.
Jump stop.
And we're gonna have a foul in the backcourt as that pressure defense got the best of the Comets that time. And I believe the foul, yep, it was on Taurus Bow, his second, team second.
So Palatine had only made three-pointers all weekend, and Hernandez has made 2 in the last 3 minutes.
So Calvin hit the first, then Hernandez connected on that second one on their last possession. But they're gonna need a few more of those if they wanna chip away here, as we are just about a minute to go in the third. Gann, near side wing, now back up top to Shin. Shin swung around to Gosic. Here's a backdoor cut from Calvin. His pull-up floater, no good. Rebound hit the floor, and there were 4 Comets just standing around it.
No, great backdoor cut, though. That's a nice pass.
Here's Traps. He'll get it to the corner. Here's a 3-ball. That one is short, out of the hand of Bow. And we're going to have another foul. I believe that one's going to be on Smallwood. And he'll pick up his third, team third.
Little push on the rebound.
And Louderman is going to grab Smallwood. So as we talked about, the Comets go, I guess you could say, small. As we've entered just under a minute. Shin will bring it across the timeline with the right hand, working in on Bow. Bow had the ball knocked away from Shin, and Bow, Naz Jackson putting a ton of pressure on Shin. He's getting close to that half-court line, and he did, but yes, Jackson reached in. Shin did step on the half-court line.
He was pushing him, and not quite physically pushing him. He didn't have to foul. He, like you said, he was going to go over the half-court line. That foul was probably not necessary.
So Shin gets the ball into Hernandez.
You mentioned the Comets small. I mean, they're still 10 times faster than any team I've seen, though, too. So
Calvin, crossover on Jackson, pulls it back out, 20 seconds to play. Shin with a nice backdoor. Calvin missed him, kind of had the ball knocked away a little bit by Bow. And Calvin will lose this one in the backcourt. He'll touch it for the over and back. Turnover with 11.7 seconds to play in the third. 46-20. Neither team in a ton of foul trouble, but the Comets are going to take a timeout.
Figure out a 11.7 second play. Try to get one more basket before the quarter.
Folks, do you or someone you know, have they participated in a past state event? And are they currently attending a Lutheran university or college? Matt, do you know anybody?
Not currently.
Doesn't matter. If so, you're eligible for the Crane Scholarship Fund. For more information, go to the LSA website at www.luthsports.org. Matt, both and I are products of Lutheran colleges. Myself, Concordia, Chicago.
That was Concordia, St. Paul, Minnesota.
St. Paul, Minnesota. There it is.
A lot of Concordias in the area. You got the one in Mequon, Wisconsin, and Ann Arbor, Michigan. A lot of local ones around our area. And then also, too, you got Carthage and Valpo. A lot of other Lutheran colleges that you can go to get this scholarship.
And don't forget about Seward, Nebraska. Seward, Nebraska, you can go out there. And I remember watching them play when I announced the CIT games, the Concordia Invitational Tournament at Concordia, Chicago. It would be Mequon, it would be Chicago, it would be Seward, and Ann Arbor all coming together. It's a great weekend.
Yes, when I attended St. Paul, Minnesota as well, they were actually in CIT, so I had attended CIT long time ago. But
did they have electric scoreboards, or were they just drawn with chalk on a chalkboard?
I am not that old, Sam, but
all right.
I think it may have been a year of the electronic scoreboard.
So Jackson found Louderman. Now a step back from Little. That one's a deep three and good. Sorry, Torrance Bow connects from three at the buzzer, making it a 29-point Comet lead going into the fourth.
That one, I mean, that was a great step back, but I don't know how that made it. He threw that almost to the ceiling, and what an amazing shot.
Amazing shot. And just kind of like an exclamation point on that third quarter, because they really, I mean, the Bobcats came out and had quite a bit of fight. I mean, that kind of thing, how demoralizing is a buzzer beater three to put your team up 29 points for the opposing team?
Right. I mean, you kind of knew what's going to happen in the fourth quarter anyways. But yeah, I mean, missing it, you're still down 26. But yeah, the shot is like, yeah, you kind of get a little bit demoralized.
Interested in being an official? Or are you an official looking for support? Contact Brenda Hilton from Officially Human Behind the Stripes at Offy Human. So again, that's Offy Human, OFFY Human.
And we have our one official right next to us. So we got a three-man crew today, and we have so many games. We have so many officials from around the state. A lot of them are local here in northern Illinois, but I know the guy standing right next to us, he's from Collinsville down south by St. Louis, and a lot of other refs from all over the state. We want to thank them again for giving up their weekend to ref our state tournament.
Hopefully they are members of that Officially Human Behind the Stripes program, as it sounds great. We know officials work very hard. And here's a three ball out of the hand of Somerville. That one just barely short. Rebound put back by Daquan Little, and it's 51-20. Hernandez will bring a ball across the timeline with the right hand. He'll attack, and he was pushed by Lamberti on his way to the basket. It's going to be ball underneath to the Bobcats. Lamberti picks up his third, team fifth.
We've talked about this. We still want to see the fight from the Bobcats, and that attack shows that. They're not giving up.
Here's Hernandez, who'll pull it out of the lane. Look to set something up, working on Lamberti yet again. Now up top to Gahn, working on Louderman. Gahn over to Shin. Now to the corner to Vandergiesen. Bobcats taking a lot of time off the clock, working that offense. Vandergiesen holding. Somerville giving him all kinds of space there at the top of the key. Vandergiesen now puts the ball on the floor, looking to make something happen. A couple times between the legs, now back up top to Hernandez. Vandergiesen just to our left, looking for the offense to get moving, and Vandergiesen will take it in. Now kick it out to Gahn. Gahn will jab step to the baseline, nothing. Back out to Calvin. Calvin a couple dribbles, left hand. Top of the key, guarded closely by Little. Now Hernandez with the head fake on Lamberti. He'll drive baseline, right hand floater up off the side of the backboard, no good. Gets his own rebound, spins toward the middle. Now a kick out to Gahn. Gahn with the floater over the top of Somerville, no good. Rebound tapped around and corralled by Vandergiesen and the Bobcats, and looks like the ball hit the end line, last touched by the Comets. It'll stay down here.
Great patience on the offense. Couple good looks.
And Somerville will leave, as well as Bow. Checking in, Traps and Smallwood. Hernandez working on the newly checked in Traps. His floater is short. Traps looked like he might have tripped over the screen. Well, the Comets going to work on the other end. Spin move in the lane by Lamberti, up and good.
That was a tough shot. He got it actually kind of stopped by his hip, and he kind of just flung it right back up.
So Calvin with a crossover will take it in front of his own bench. Fake the three, put it back in the holster. Now back out to Vandergeest, and he'll pull from 16. That one is back iron, no good. Nice rebound by Daquan Little. And Little will take it coast to coast, loses a handle on it. Hernandez picks it up, 2-on-1. Hernandez, jab step, up off the bottom of the rim, gets his own rebound, and has a nice putback.
Great hustle play. He probably took too many fakes or whatever, but he got his own rebound and made the basket.
Jarrell Traps with a nasty in and out dribble, working on Walther. Now he's got the ball back again, brings it to the top of the key. There's a crossover on Walther, pull up from 16, good. They just keep reloading. I mean, Jarrell Traps comes on the floor. He's the 6th, 7th, 8th man. Beautiful pull up from 16.
We said they had like 10 guys averaging like 6 points a game or more. I mean, no one's averaging more than 10 points, and they're averaging 66 points a game.
That last three from Vandergeest and a little short. Lamberti with the floater, short. And a rebound pulled down by Kendall Jackson. Back out to Little. Little now to Traps. Traps over the stop dribble, another crossover. Left-hand floater on the right side, short. Rebound grabbed by Shin. He looked to save it, stepped on the end line. And for the Comets, seeing his first action of the evening, it's going to be number 5, Will Harris. Jackson met by Hernandez, about 5 feet above the arc, and we're going to have a travel on Jackson. And here's Calvin looking to attack on the other end. Nice bounce pass across the lane. And that's Austin Immanuel getting on the scoreboard for the first time this evening.
Once again, they were attacking the basket. Smallwood came over and they dumped it down.
And here's a steal by Emmanuel Jackson, but he throws it right to Jarrell Traps. Traps pump fake the three. He's about 8 feet behind the arc there. And this is Jackson with a beautiful pass inside to Kendall Jackson for the 2 points.
What an amazing pass.
So with 1.5 minutes to play in the contest, it's 57-24 Comets. There's a deep three out of the hand of Emmanuel. No good, and looking to push still again is Naz Jackson, and he runs over Calvin for the offensive foul.
He was waiting for about a second or two before he actually got ran over, so he was planted and it was a charge.
So a few new Comets. Checking in, that's going to be Marlon Heron, number 22, as well as DeMarcus Hughes. Those two seeing their first action tonight. Bobcats still just about all their starters on the floor. Nice take by Jackson up off the glass and good. Excuse me, Calvin up off the glass and good. Comets looking to set up the offense. DeMarcus Hughes over to Will Harris. Will Harris with a nice crossover on Gon. Gon reached in, hit Harris on the arm, and it'll be Comet ball underneath the basket. Exactly 60 seconds to go. Comets on top of the Bobcats by 31.
Getting some more subs in for the Bobcats.
And now the Bobcats will start to empty their bench. Always great to get everybody in the game in the championship. These kids can forever say, I played in the championship game in Arlington Heights.
Correct, yeah.
Lutheran State basketball.
You want to give every player their moment.
Harris working on Gahn. Nice ball handling. There's a crossover on Gahn. Gets in the lane. Little runner. Good. Will Harris with some nice ball handling and then a beautiful pull-up jumper from just inside the free throw line.
And now talking about the moment, now he's got 2 points in the state championship game.
And here's a drive for Jacob Kim. He'll kick it back out to Vandergiesen. Vandergiesen uncontested on the right side. Went baseline. Looks like the defense kind of went out to find their men. Vandergiesen had a wide open layup.
When you do have your subs in, they're trying to kind of figure things out. And they were able to get a basket off of it.
So 29.9 seconds to go until we crown Christ Peoria with the 2020 state basketball championship. Well deserved. This is a very well coached team. We all know that Mooney's going to come here with guys that are very prepared, always work hard, very athletic, and he's got a heck of a squad this year.
Oh, I mean, he always does. And you and I rotate from the girls to the boys, but it seems like every year we announce the boys championship game, we're announcing Christ Peoria.
Absolutely.
And every year, like you said, keep returning or bringing back or bringing in new kids or whatever, getting older. They must do a great job in the lower levels as well. And both Moonies, Terry Senior and Junior, have done an amazing job with this program for over 20 years.
So Keon Walker lost it, threw it away, then steals it. And he's going to take a line to the lane with the left hand, had it knocked away by Gahn. Gahn up the sideline, and he was fouled by Harris. Mooney saying that Gahn stepped out. With 14.8 seconds to play. And checking in for the Comets now is Justice Rush. And on the floor for the Bobcats is number 5, Ian Sherman. Number 3, Rory Gahn. Number 24, Jacob Kim. And we're trying to find some numbers here so I can get these names to you. Gahn's free throw is in and out, no good. And a nice rebound by Ian Sherman. Kicks it out to Immanuel. His jumper is long. And that other Bobcat player is Ian Tanner. Here's a kick to the corner. 3-ball short. And that'll do it. Keon Walker's shot is the last of the night. It doesn't matter. 59-28. The Comets over the Bobcats. Matt, you said at the end of the first quarter, this team is averaging close to 60 points a game. There's your average.
Yeah. No, I mean, both teams we kind of knew what was coming when we got into this, but both teams played a great game and a great tournament. Congratulations to both. We always talk about even the second place. Yeah, you lost, but you played in the state championship game. There's 200 schools in Illinois, 16 here in the north for the tournament, and you are the second best. Congratulations to both teams.
Absolutely. Both teams fought hard all season to get here. Hope to see them in the national tournament. Should be coming up at the end of
March. The national tournament at Valparaiso University. I assume I will see Christ Peoria and Immanuel Palatine at the national tournament.
Absolutely, and a nice embrace for Coach Ulrich and Coach Mooney. Again, they see each other pretty much every year.
They've been doing this for many, many years, and they know each other well.
Well, Matt, it's been a pleasure yet again. 2020 in the books. Christ Peoria Comets are your state champions until 2021. Good luck at nationals.
Thank you very much.
If you do get in and you do decide to go, I'm sure you and your girls will do great. So for Matt Gutzler, this is Sam Krull. We're signing off. Have a good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please congratulate both teams with me tonight? although the field for the national tournament hasn't been announced yet, I got a hunch both teams will be playing some more basketball this month. This basketball tournament happens because of a lot of action behind the scenes and what you've seen here. First off, would you please thank with me Concordia University for broadcasting the games today. I spoke of the national tournament, and the LSA has learned that schools and teams have been watching our video in an effort to scout the fine teams coming from Illinois. And therefore, we won't be uploading the videos to our YouTube channel until the end of the month after the national tournament has started. The tournament happens because of the work done by the volunteers. Would you please join me in thanking our many volunteers? Some are wearing the red LSA staff shirts, and others have served as scorers and timers and ticket takers and concession people. The tournament happens because of the gracious and wonderful hosts willing to open up their doors. Would you please join me in thanking Immanuel Crystal Lake and St. John's Lombard and Trinity Roselle and St. Peter Arlington Heights. We'll follow the same protocol that we did previously with the girls' presentation, which means we'll award the second place trophy, second place medallions, then we'll award the championship trophy, game ball, banner, then we go to the first place medallions. We get all that taken care of, and we transition into the all tournament, sportsmanship, and then we'll close with prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please congratulate with me the second place team in the state of Illinois, the Bobcats from Immanuel, Palatine. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you the co-chair, or the chair of the boys division of the tournament, Mr. Eric Young.
So here are the players from Immanuel. Number 2, William Tanner. Number 3, Rory Gann. Number 5, Ian Sherman. Number 10, Josiah Calvin. Number 11, Logan Grosick. Number 12, Nate Vandergiesen. Number 20, Jack Reichert. Number 21, John Walter. Number 23, Austin Immanuel. Number 24, Jacob Kim. Number 32, John Romanuk. Number 33, Joey Hernandez. Number 44, Brendan Gallardo. Number 51, Ben Forsyth. Number 54, Isaac Shin. Statistician, David Cox. Manager, James Cox. Manager, Zach Roche. Athletic Director, Diane Henderson. Principal Delane Schiestel. Assistant coaches, Johnny Ulrich. Matthew Ulrich. And head coach, John Ulrich Sr.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please congratulate with me for the 14th time our state champions, the Comets from Christ, Peoria. It is my pleasure to present the game ball to Terry Mooney Jr., coach of Christ Peoria. Congratulations, Terry. Comets, would you please step forward to receive your championship banner?
At this point, we're going to do the same thing. We'll call you forward, boys, and we'll have you receive your championship medal. Number 2, William Tanner. I'm sorry, William already got one, wrong side. Let's try that again. We're going to announce the champions from Christ Peoria. Number 1, Nick Louderman. Number 3, Jarrell Traps. Number 5, Will Harris. Number 10, Naz Jackson. Number 11, Daquan Little. Number 12, Kendall Jackson. Number 13, Justice Rush. Number 15, Kyler Beavers. Number 20, DeMarcus Hughes. Number 21, Joe Lamberti. Number 22, Marlon Heron. Number 23, Taurus Bow. Number 24, Keon Walker. Number 35, Lathan Somerville. Number 44, James Smallwood. Manager, Brandon Woods. Athletic Director, Terry Mooney Sr. and Principal, Terry Mooney Sr. Assistant Coach, Dario Lamberti. And Head Coach, Terry Mooney Jr. All right, thank you guys. So we're going to move on to our all-tournament team selections. All weekend long, committee members, staff have been voting, have been watching games and tabulating results during the course of the weekend. And from those games we've watched, from those results, we've determined the 15 members of this year's all-tournament team. So if you are present and you hear your name, come on down, receive your medal. These names are listed in no particular order. From St. John Lombard, Lucas Romano. From Christ Peoria, Taurus Bow. From St. Peter, Arlington Heights, Jared Rigg. From Immanuel, Palatine, Josiah Calvin. From St. John's Redbud, Chase Lutt. From Christ Peoria, Naz Jackson. From Chicago, St. James, Martin Ryan. From Immanuel, Batavia, Sean Heatland. From Immanuel, Palatine, Joey Hernandez. From Cross Yorkville, John Daffenberg. From Christ Peoria, Lathan Somerville. From Nashville, Oakville, Parker Rinkin. From Trinity, Bloomington, David Null. From St. Peter, Arlington Heights, Gus Damon. And finally, from Zion Belleville, Riley Massey. So of these 15 individuals, the all-tournament MVP was selected, having the best tournament of this weekend. So this year's MVP goes to, from Christ Peoria, Naz Jackson. So as we're getting our last pictures here of the all-tournament team, we will close the prayer in a moment. and then you'll be able to get together with your teams, take final pictures and so forth. Thank you, boys. You can head back to your areas. We do have one last award to give out before we get to our closing prayer, and that is our Sportsmanship Award. All weekend long, as we've been talking about, we've been mentioning before every game, our sportsmanship statement, our emphasis on good sportsmanship. Over the course of this weekend, all of our teams were judged and evaluated, and this year, our Sportsmanship Award-winning boys' school is Zion Belleville. All right, so if you would, we'll close this weekend with prayer, and then like I said, you can get your pictures and everything taken care of after that. So if you would, please fold your hands, bow your heads. Dear Lord, thanks for bringing us here to this point of the weekend. It's been a great weekend, a long weekend, but a lot of fun. Thank you for all the people involved, the players, coaches, staff, volunteers, fans. Thank you for all the effort and energy they brought. Help us all to have safe travels heading back home. And if it is your will, Lord, please let us pass this way again next year. These things we ask in your name. Amen.